Good morning. Thanks for clicking on another video from Williams Vintage Cycle. It's a beautiful June day here in Southwest Ohio. And I've got a 1976 Honda CB750 to show you. This one's kind of special, I think. You know, everybody, you're always looking for that original bike, and I think we've got a pretty original one here to show you. Got this one. This one came from the estate of the original owner that bought it in 1976. It's only got just a little over 2,000 miles on it. So when we got it, the license plate on it had an expiration date of 1990 on it. So of course, don't know exactly when it was last ridden, but it was last registered with an expiration date of 1990. So it was probably last on the road about 88, 89 until now. She's on the road again. If I can keep my shadow out of the way. 2,363 miles on it. Of course, 13 of those are ours. After we finish the bike, we'd like to do a nice road test on it, make sure everything's working good. I'll tell you everything that we did to it. So I'll just start the front and we'll work our way back, show you the originalness of this bike. So the first thing I'll show you, it is not original. It had the original tires on it, but of course they were, let's see, we're in 2025 and this is a 76, so they were almost 50 years old. So we put a brand new pair of IRC GS11s on there. We like the IRC GS11s on the Japanese bikes because they have a nice vintage looking tread to them, and they're a Japanese brand tire, so works out pretty good. And the IRCs came factory on a lot of Japanese bikes back in this era. So new tires. We didn't do much restoration work to this bike. You know, of course we cleaned it up and did the maintenance items, but for the most part, if there was some patina or flaws, you know, we left it. So like the little pitting that gets under the clear coat and the forks, this is still the original clear coat on the forks. You know, a lot of people will strip that clear coat off there, polish those up real good so they're nice and shiny. Just depends on what you're looking for. You know, everybody, I like, you know, we'll do that sometimes, but I find one like this that really hasn't been, you know, messed with a whole lot. I like to try to leave it that way as much as I can. I point out all the, you know, all the original little yellow inspectors marks, that, you know, paint marks that they would put on everything. That's all still there. And they put yellow paint everywhere back then. There's the, so this one had a build date of March 1976. Kickstart, in case you didn't know what that was. Got all your little, these aren't new ones, these are the original little rubber boots on all the tops of the carburetors. Everything's still got its CAD plating on it. More little yellow marks from the factory. So the bodywork on it, it is a fresh paint job. When we got it, the tank, you know, showed some wear, and unfortunately it looked like something had fell on it in the garage, and bam, right there, dent. So And the bike was super nice, so it needed new paint. So this is the, of course, the correct, I don't know what Honda called it. I think, did they call that ruby red maybe, or something like that? I'm sure if you're watching this, you're a CB750 aficionado, you probably know. All the 76s, I think, were this maroon color. Still got the original seat on it, the original seat cover. Grab bar still there. Actually came this way. Didn't have a big sissy bar or luggage rack or anything Vetter. Nothing Vetter was on this entire bike. It seems to be kind of rare when we get these old 70s bikes in. There's always something Vetter on them, it seems. Don't want to talk bad about the Vetter. I've been yelled at on YouTube for that. Some people like it. I don't. Here's the rear IRC tire, brand new. Still got all your little nubbies on it. The stickers are all still there. We did put a new set of shocks on it, correct style. I forget the name of the seller that sells these. The originals, they did have some, the speckling of rust on the springs, and just didn't. A new set of socks. It's just looks so nice on a bike. So those are new. This exhaust system. Well, actually, we'll talk about the exhaust system after we go around the bike. But it is the original exhaust system on this bike. This is not a reproduction exhaust. Turn signals, tail light. All the baffles are still there. See, they would wrap this seat trim in like a clear plastic, and that is starting to just right there in the back come loose just a little bit. You can probably take just a little dab of glue and put that back up so it doesn't get any worse. Helmet holder decal, that's all still there. Nice shiny chain guard with its original decals on it. We did put a brand new chain on it. The old one was just kind of rusty, so got a new one on there. There's your HM341 kickstand with the rubber. More yellow paint. Carburetor's nice and clean in there. New fuel line. Still see all that nice gold cad plating on all the carburetor parts. Front brake system has been gone through, cleaned out, serviced. Check out the yellow paint there on the bleeder and the brake line. More yellow paint. They stamped there. Actually, I might have showed you that already. But they put their inspector's marks on everything. Even the original mirrors. It seems like those are always broken or missing. We've got to put reproductions on them. You can tell they're the original because there's where the little Honda decal was. The original levers, they still have their that clear plastic layer that's on there. That's almost always broken off if they do have the original levers on them. Let's look under the seat. Got out 2 matching keys. Not a hodgepodge of keys like you'd see on a lot of bikes. Trying to do this one-handed here, so bear with me. Come on. There we go. Alright. It's one of the cleanest under seats I've seen in a while. And the wires all still routed the way the factory did it, with the little protectors on it, little decals, protectors. Of course, a new battery. You believe the one from 1989 was no good? Couldn't believe it. Had to put a new one in it. You know, rubber tank hold downs there. Toolkit, original toolkit. I'm not going to pull all these out of here for the video, but check out the pictures of this bike, and I spread them all out so you can see all the original tools that were there. Original owner's manual, even in the plastic sleeve with some registrations. Again, I show all those in the pictures of the bike. Let's see if I can open the gas tank for you. So it's really good in there. I mean, there is just a real light little layer on the metal. I'm not going to tell you it's a bright shiny metal, but it was definitely not to the point where it needed any work other than just a rinse out inside the tank. And so let's see. That's about all I can think of to show you. Yeah, I just hope you saw the just the originalness of this bike. I mean, just things like the original little clips here on the cable. And, still has its. Hang on, a loud truck going by. It still even has its original little, where's it at? Right there. The turn signal buzzer that works. If you actually are riding this bike, you'll probably want to unplug that because they're a little annoying, actually, in my opinion. It's there, it works. Like a typical 70s Honda, you know, all of the electrical and charging systems original, so, you know, when you're got your signals on, you know, if you rev it up and the voltage increases, you know, the buzzer gets louder, your turn signals flash faster. So all right, well, let's fire it up. I'll show you how well this thing runs. This is a cold start. Has not been ran today, so she's cold on all the pipes. So I'm gonna turn the let's see how it feels already on. So that shows you the float needles are working good. Fuel's on. Guess we forgot to shut that off last time. A lot of times these old bikes, the float needles won't seal up real well. With the fuel on, they'll eventually start peeing out the overflows. So we'll need, it's probably full choke. Now these things, the full choke on these were an actual choke, not an enrichener on these. So they, you know, they blocked off your airflow. And these old Hondas, usually you'll need full choke for about a split second, basically until it fires, and it's not getting any air. So as soon as it fires, you got to crack that thing back off just a little to get some airflow through the engine. And then as it warms up, then you would take your choke all the way off. So we'll go full choke for a second. Key on. Make sure we're in neutral and the kill switch is in the run position. There's our oil pressure light and our neutral. We are in run. Alright. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to do this with one hand, so I'm going to have to start it and then come right down here to that choke. So. I didn't get to that choke fast enough. If you're doing it two hands, you just hold just a little bit on the throttle and use your other hand to take that off. It's got to be one of the best cold starts on an old CB750 I've seen in a long time. And it instantly holds an idle. And of course, as it warms up, it'll smooth out some more. Take that off just a little bit more. Took that off too much. Try going back on just a little. Let's see if that'll get without any choke now. Yeah, there we go. Oh, nope, still wanted a little choke. But anyway, we'll do a. I'll ride it around here in the grass here in just a second too. Oh, so the exhaust system. So like I said, this is the original exhaust system on the bike. A lot of times we do these CB750s, we'll put a brand new reproduction on there. This one, the new owner, depending on what you're doing with it, you may want to put it, if you're going to show it, you'll probably want to put new pipes on it. So these Honda 750, or actually a lot of the Honda exhausts, back in the 70s, they made them very thin metal in the mufflers and they would rot out. Didn't take much of nothing to get them to rot. I mean, just the moisture and the way they were made inside, the moisture would collect in certain spots and you get a rust hole in just a few years, and these are no exception. So I'll show you what we got here. So down here on the bottom, there you go, just aft of the rear foot peg mount. And there's this typical rotted out hole down here. Got a little bit more rust there just after the head pipe collects. Just all the usual, the usual spots here. And the other side, a little bit worse on this side. Here, actually, where the head pipes are, doesn't look too bad at all on this one. Right here, just after the rear foot peg. There we go. Can you see that? The sun's in my eyes here. I can't tell where the camera's at. There we go. So, got the typical rust and split out there. So, but the interesting thing is, it gives it a nice throaty sound. It's just got like just enough holes in it. Makes the bike sound really good. Of course, from the standing height, you can't see that. So, wanted to show that to you. Original pipes with the original rust holes. I've seen some of these at swap meets where people will put, they take these pipes off, put a reproduction set on a bike they restored, and throw these out of the swap meet, and they'll still have $500-600 on them, and they usually sell, it seems. So, all right, let me pause this video for a second. We'll put the camera up in a tripod here, and then I'll just kind of ride it around the grass here just a little bit so you can see it run and ride and shift through the gears. I don't have a fancy camera set up like a lot of guys are doing now with the so I can take it out on the road for you. Maybe one day. All right, be right back. All right, here we go. go. You got a bonus. You get to see what happens when the fuel runs out of the bowls and you have to go to reserve. I had it in the on position. We run a non-ethanol fuel in these, because most fuels now you get to pump are just a 10% ethanol blend, and they're no good for these old bikes. Luckily there's a couple stations around us that sell the non-ethanol, so we probably only got about a gallon or maybe a gallon and a half in here. So it ran out in the on position because they got the pretty good, couple inch tall standpipe. So but that's what happens, starts running bad, you flip it to reserve, wait a couple seconds, fire it up again. Of course it happens during the video, but oh well, such is life. But anyway, there we go, 1976 Honda CB750, just a little over 2,000 original miles. This is one owner bike, so we got it from the state of the original owner. So. And again, we're Williams Vintage Cycle, Xenia, Ohio. Check us out on the web, williamsvintagecycle.com. And if you would, we really appreciate a like on this video and a subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. So, anyway, if you're still here, appreciate your watching. We'll see you on the next one.